Hello, Debbie here. Welcome to another video. Today is my weekly whip and chat where I'm going to work on diamond painting or whip work in progress. And I'm just going to chit chat with you guys about things going on around here. And then I will end up talking about diamond painting. So grab something that you want to work on. And also, if you want to treat this like a podcast and just listen while I chat, that's fine also. But let's get started. Okay, I think I'm ready. This is a new canvas. I have not started on it. I am really excited to work on it, though. This is from Captured by Radiance. Isn't he beautiful? The name of this painting is Simon from the Winter King storybook, and it's by Romance Art. I am doing this for the Winter King's storybook event that is in June, that is sponsored by Captured by Radiance, and several other content creators are also in that. I am not, but I am just doing this as a participant and really excited. It does have 55 colors. I did purchase the enhancement pack from DP with Sparklers. I also have a tray. Now this one is Thorn Whisper by Romance Art. It is from Black Dahlia. It's the first one that she's done so far. I do have this painting, but I wanted to start out with Simon since I do have the enhancement pack on that one. And then also I have the release paper. So the release paper came from Bees, and it's a 4x3. So I'll be using the release paper. I'm working on this. Actually, the rows, I'm just going to do it by column instead of a row. I also have a really cute cover minder. I don't always use cover minders. I did not have a snow leopard or any type of leopard, but I had a cat, so I'm using that one. This came from Mad for Minders. I'm also using, let me get my project bag here. This project bag is from Wolf Gazer Studios, and this is for the Winter King, and it's Winter King's collection, and it matches perfectly, so I love that. And then I am using from Black Dahlia their spring collection called Water Lily and Jasmine. I think that my putty has gotten really soft for some reason. It's not really hot in my craft room, but I'm going to put it in the freezer for a little while later. I can use it fine right now, so that's what I'm going to do. And since this is the first time that I have started this, I'm not sure where everything is. I think most of this is in order. I am using tray bricks for this, and haven't used these in a long time either. So let's go ahead and get started. Mine is a square painting. I cannot remember. I've had this for a while. I honestly can't remember if this was offered as a square and a round or just a square. I will always get a square if I have the option, so I honestly don't know. Also on my washi, let's see if you can see this. My washi is just this geometric shape here. This is from Amanda Michelle Designs, and then I'm continuing to use my pen, and it has cats. This is from Leopard Leatherworks. So I think I am ready. Fix my chair is being very squeaky. And I'm going to start on this instead of initially starting to multi-place because I have not placed any drills on this yet. And I want to make sure that the drills are straight. I also have way too much that I put in this tray. And with tray brick, you do not have to use a tray. They're actually the tray itself, but I wanted to get the tray just so I'll have the tray out. I may have to end up pouring some of these 310s into another tray because I did feel this pretty full. But how are you guys? Let me know in the comments. Happy June the 1st. I'm recording this on Monday, and you guys will see it on Tuesday. Hard to believe it's already June the 1st. Let me know if you guys are working on anything for an event. There are several events going on, and I just decided that I'm going to do this one. and go from there. I am going to participate unofficially in the June waffle that is by Rebecca from Add More Zest. She does a June waffle and then a December waffle every year, and I'm going to be doing, I'm thinking, I guess I need to hurry up and decide, it is the first, I'm going to be doing mini diamond paintings. So that way, if I do one diamond painting a day, a mini, I will have some minis completed, of the canvas collections completed. I am taking one with me to Vegas. I thought about working on one on the plane because we do have a 4-hour flight, but I may just sit back, relax, and just read. Start with my life update. Life update is getting ready for Vegas, trying to get everything done around here for the family, and just waiting to get my reservations for the flight. We'll get confirmation the day before because the travel agency that my school uses, they will check everybody in at the same time, also because they're paying for one bag, and the only way they can do that is if when they check us in, they will go through and pay for all the bags. So at least we do get a bag check. There's no way I could do it without a bag because 5 days we have to wear dress clothes, and then I have to have, casual clothes for the evening and afternoon when we're not in session. So definitely could not do it in a carry-on. So got that going on. Got making sure that Dave and Paige are covered while I'm here. I've got groceries I am picking up today. And normally I don't pick them up until later in the day, so that way Dave will be home. He can carry the groceries in the house for me. That's kind of trade-off, is that I'll go to the grocery store, which I don't mind. He hates it. I don't mind going to the store. I go to the store, sometimes I'll order groceries, sometimes I go and pick groceries up, and sometimes I just go grocery shopping. So I will go get the groceries, and then he usually brings them in for me. And then Paige puts all the groceries up. So it's kind of a tag team on grocery day. But I am going to have to pick the groceries up earlier today than what I normally do because I have to take Paige to a doctor's appointment. The only appointment I could get, unfortunately, and it's not with her doctor, it's with another doctor in the same practice. It is later in the day when I normally go and get my groceries. But she has pulled a muscle in her back, and she was up all night long crying last night. She said it was hurting so bad. She took some Tylenol yesterday before she went to bed, and then she also was on a heating pad, also had a cold compress, and it's helped a little bit. She was able to sleep some, not a lot, but she was able to sleep some. And then this morning she got up, she could hardly walk. I was going to wait and see how she was doing. I said, I think you just need to walk it off. But she's having a hard time with her crying about her back, and she is a toughie. She doesn't ever cry when she's in pain. So I know it has to hurt really bad. And I've had back aches and spasms like that before. So I know how she's feeling. And I'm going to go ahead and get her in. I'm hoping that she'll be okay. She's supposed to get her hair cut tomorrow, and it's been a long time since she's been able to get her hair cut. And unfortunately, where we go is now starting to charge if you do not cancel your appointment within 24 hours. And they charge a percentage based on what you're having done. I do not want to have to pay for that. So hopefully she will be able to get her hair done. I've got to get mine done. Mine just looks so bad and nappy, and it's gotten so long. I cannot go out of town for work having photos made and everything, and my hair looks this way. So, and it needs to be colored too. So I'm getting that done tomorrow. Hopefully if I can get her some kind of muscle relaxer or something today, she'll be okay tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and see how that one goes. And then I wanted to go and get our nails done today. It's time to get our nails done. But I'm going to wait, especially since I've got to go with her at 3:30 this afternoon. And I am just going to wait. I can get my nails done on Thursday. possibly Wednesday, but more than likely I'll just wait and do it on Thursday and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and pack early. I don't like to pack too early, especially on dress clothes, because I don't want to get all wrinkled, and I do not want to have to iron when I get there. Of course, if I have to, and I'll do it, but I sure don't want to have to iron. So we will see how everything goes, but I'll keep you guys updated as I am in Vegas. I think it'll be fun to do a vlog. I can get different places that we go and different things. I don't always like to vlog when I'm out somewhere because I feel silly talking to myself, but I can make it look like I'm just talking to somebody. That would work too. So I might do that. I will have to work while I'm there. I'm taking my computer, unfortunately, but I don't think I'm gonna have a lot that I have to get done next week. So that's definitely a plus, a win-win for me. And I'm really excited about taking these minis. I haven't worked on a mini in a while, so that's all I'm taking. I'm not taking a large diamond painting because I don't want to take up the space in my suitcase, for one thing. And then also I don't want anything to happen to it. This one would be too big to take, but I could take another smaller one. But I would like to, but I don't want anything to happen to it, basically. So I'll just be taking my minis, and that makes me happy. And let's see, what's really happened around here this past week? Not a whole lot, but I did get more of my paintings into my Gems Flow app. I wanted to have that done by the end of this year, and I am close to being done, but it's looking good. The garage is looking good. It's looking very organized. I can find everything, and I can look in my Gems Flow app to see if I have a painting similar to one that I might want to buy, or if there's something that I really want to work on, but I have plenty to work on, and we'll go over that shortly. This is going to be a lot of black on this one. It is going to be kind of a boring section. This is going to be a lot of black in this painting anyway. We went over to Madison's. Paige just did not feel like going. She said she didn't want to go over there with her back hurting. And her back wasn't hurting as bad yesterday as it was when she woke up. It was starting to stiffen up on her yesterday. She did go and do a lot of walking, but she said she didn't really want to go, and she couldn't really play with the baby or anything. She couldn't get on the floor with her, and she couldn't really hold her because her back was hurting so bad. We went over there on Sunday just for a little bit because I hadn't seen her all week, and I won't be able to see her over next weekend. And she was getting a quick bath whenever we went over there. She was getting dried off. She was in her room, and I just walked in there. Didn't say anything to her. She just looked at me and started smiling, just really big, and started kicking her legs. And so I helped Madison get her dressed. She was so excited. So then I went in, and it was time for her to have a bottle. They'd gone shopping, and so it was a little past time for her to have one. And Kyle was making the bottle and getting it heated up. She likes it still warm. And he was doing all of that while Madison was finishing up with the bath. So I did feed her. And I mean, the poor thing, I thought she hadn't eaten in forever. And she was just starving. And then we played for a while. And Dave went over there with me. And he was playing with her. And I was holding her. And she started pulling towards Dave, which I find really funny. He held her for a little bit, and then I went back and held her. We put her on the floor, and she's starting to crawl, but it's more like a military crawl. It's really cute. She just can't get her legs and her hands coordinated at the same time. I mean, she'll get there. She just turned 7 months, so she'll get there. She's working on it, but she's crawling. And she's going pretty quick. But they, put her on the ground. We were playing with her, and Dave was calling her and clapping his hands. So she was crawling over to him. And then we had some toys out for her. So she was having a good time. By the time that we left, she was getting really tired. And so they were cleaning up the kitchen and doing some things while we were playing with her, keeping her occupied so they could get some things done. So then whenever we left, Madison rocked her for a little bit and got her down for a short nap. But I was so excited I got to see Claire. It's really kind of hard not to be able to see her because I'm so used to seeing her. So I am so glad that they moved close to us. And then on Saturday, Dave and I went out with my best friend and her husband. We went and had lunch with them, Mexican, and my best friend's husband had never been there before. And Cindy and I were both telling him how much that we really loved this Mexican restaurant. And Dave and I had been going there for a while, and then Cindy and I started going a while back when we would go into the city, and that was the main place to really sit and have a, just have a nice lunch and be able to talk and things. And so she really likes it. And we kept telling her husband, how good this place was, and he likes Mexican. Well, of course, the day that we go, they had to have somewhat of an off day. They were busy. They were extremely slow, which we weren't in any hurry. We were talking and just catching up. And then we both had gotten enchiladas, and it was really salty. And normally it's not that salty. And so he tastes it. He's like, "Is this really salty to you guys?" And his wife hadn't said anything. She had the same thing. And my husband didn't have an enchilada. And he said, "Mine's not salty." And so I think my best friend changed her sauce. That's what it was. And we figured out, she's like, "Well, mine's not salty at all." And so I tasted mine. I'm like, "Yeah, they put some salt in this one." So we figured it out that it wasn't the enchilada itself. It was the sauce that the two of us had gotten. And her sauce wasn't the same as ours, so hers wasn't bad at all. So I thought, yeah, it figures that it has to be an off day on something that he ordered. But he was fine. He must have been okay with it because he ate it all. He said it was really good and he'd like to go back there sometime. So we ended up leaving them. We were there for like 2 hours. We ended up leaving the two of them, and we had some running around to do. I went to Hobby Lobby. I am going to be making 21 cards, identical cards for Scrapbook Expo that my friend and I always go to. And we have a card class that we like to go to. It's not really a class, it's a card exchange, but they call it a class. And so you have to have identical cards, and then everyone goes around the room, gets a card, and then we sit and we look at our cards and we talk about them, and then they'll ask questions about them. And so we decided to do that again, and I have plenty of card making supplies. I didn't need anything else, and she didn't either, but I didn't have enough paper to do 21 identical cards of what I wanted to do. And Hobby Lobby was having a 40% off on their individual paper packs or individual pieces of paper. So I ended up going and getting my paper. I went actually on Friday, but then I was looking at the paper that I got, and I realized that the background paper, I wasn't going to need it because what I was going to stamp is going to take up pretty much the whole background, and the paper that I bought for the background was pretty pricey. I didn't realize how much that it was, and apparently that paper was not 40% off, even though it should have been, I think. But I thought, I'm going to go ahead and just take this back. And the line was incredibly long on the returns. And so I told my husband, I'm not going to sit here and wait that long in that line. It's going to take forever. And we looked around. We've been wanting to get a mirror to put over our mantle. And I didn't want to buy one with him, not with me. So he was with me. They were having a sale on mirrors too. And so we went and we found a mirror that's going to work out perfectly in there. And then I walked by the paper aisle and I said, it looks like they've added more paper. They didn't have what I really wanted on Friday when I went. And so I found paper that I liked even better. So I'm going to go either today or tomorrow and return the paper that I bought. And what I got is a lot cheaper. So win-win. So I need to do that. And then we went to the meat market and we ended up buying steaks for Sunday night. And they were really good. We don't always go to the meat market to get our steak, or we haven't been going. And so I told my husband, I'm like, yeah, they are more pricey. I used to go there all the time when we lived in a different location. And I said, they're a little pricey, but the meat is a lot better, and it's better than even going out to eat. So he grilled out Sunday, and it was a really good dinner. We sat outside, but our weather is just crazy. It is June the 1st, and it is cold. We had to both wear hoodies and sweats sitting outside to eat on Sunday. The wind started picking up. That didn't help either. It was rather chilly. And usually in Atlanta, it is hot by now. We did see some kids in our community pool, and I couldn't believe that there were actually kids in the pool. It just opened over the weekend, and there was a bunch of people out there on Saturday, and it's pretty much in the shade. I don't know how they stood to be in that pool, but of course they're kids. I guess they can stand it better than us. But it was cold. If I were a parent of a little, which was pretty much the ones that were out there were little kids, I wouldn't let my kid in the pool. It was just way, way too cold. But that's just me. And Paige does want to go to the pool. I think we're going to go to Madison's pool. The pool over here, they say it is just a normal size pool, but to me, it's extremely small. And she loves to swim. So when her back is better and it gets a little bit warmer, because she is well now, and I just cannot handle her getting sick again, and she can't handle that either. So I think I'm going to make sure that the pool is nice and warm before she gets in it. And Madison's pool is open year-round. You want to swim in the dead of winter, you certainly can, but it's not heated. I can't imagine anybody swimming out there. So it should be warmer than our pool, because they keep water in it the entire year, but they don't keep very much in there. So when they go to add water, of course, all that's going to have to heat up. And there's been a lot of people at Madison's pool lately, in the apartment pool. So we'll probably do that when we come back, or when I come back from Vegas, so she can swim. And then I have spent so much time in my craft room organizing. I'm loving it. I moved furniture around. I've gotten rid of some things. I am loving how it's turning out. So after I come back from Vegas, I'm going to do a video, because it should be completed soon. I still have some things I need to do in there, but should be completed sooner rather than later on my crafting area. And that was something I want done by the end of the year, and I am really excited about that. Next up, when I get my craft room finished, I have boxes that are still in the garage when we moved in last April, and that's April of 2025. And some of these boxes had been still boxed up whenever we moved from our house that we owned, and we moved into a rental until we found one. So it's been almost 2 years that this stuff has been boxed up, and I'm not even sure what it is, because my husband started putting boxes on his truck whenever we were moving before I could even get everything written down. I like to write everything down in the box. I know what's in there, and I have no idea. So it can't be anything that I really needed, because I have not missed anything. So when I go through those, I have got to have a place, or I'm going to get rid of whatever's in the box. And if I really want to keep it and it doesn't have a place, then something's going to have to be given up in order for me to keep whatever's in the box, because I do not want this house to be cluttered. This house is significantly smaller than our last house was. The rental is about this size, but we never really unboxed everything there, because we knew it was temporary and very short term. But now we're going to be here, I hope, for a very, very long time, and I've got to get some of this under control. And then whenever I am wanting to diamond paint, I can diamond paint and not feel guilty or feel like that I just absolutely have to go in and do something in my room, clean it, or feel guilty because it is such a mess. And it's embarrassing when somebody comes over and won't see my craft room. I'm like, oh, it's really messy, but you're welcome to come in and see it. So now I will feel a lot better. There's something on my canvas. I don't know what that is. I am going to put some washi around it. I don't think I'm going to put this dark washi that I'm using, and that's something else I'm not going to buy until I use up what I have or the majority of it. I am stuck with the washi that I have. And I bought a few here and there, but not very many. That's really all that happened. I am on a new session at work, a new term, and actually it has been very quiet. The first day of the term, I was getting a little nervous because the questions that were being asked, I thought, this is not good. Why aren't they understanding? Did I do something on this class that they just don't understand what I'm saying? What is the deal? And then after that, after I answered all those questions, it has been very, very quiet. So I am really surprised. They have their first assignments that are due this week on Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see what that's going to look like, how they're going to progress. I did go on Thursday. I knew there was something else I was going to tell you guys. I did go on Thursday to Macon, Georgia, and we didn't have to go as far as Warner Robins. We went to a satellite campus in Macon, and it still took us about 2 hours to get there. There were 3 of us, including myself, that went. The 4th person that was going to go said that he had just come down with bronchitis and he didn't feel like going. And I'm like, well, if he's sick, I don't want him to go anyway. And he also mentioned to us, he's like, I wouldn't want to get you guys sick. And so I'm like, oh, thank you for small favors. I cannot get sick before I go on this trip. That would be horrible. I wouldn't be able to go, and then that's going to be really bad. So he didn't go, but 3 of us went, and time went by fast because we all talked, and we did have a really good meeting. It's the first meeting that I had with the accounting of different schools and different schools that are part of the same commission that we are accounting. And we can teach our classes however we want to. We can use whatever textbooks that we want to, but we have to have the same objectives. And those have to be prominently shown on the syllabus. And that's something else I have not done yet. I have not sent my syllabus in. I'm glad that I mentioned the syllabus. I need to make a note of that I need to send the syllabus into my boss to be filed and to our administrative assistant. We just found out that our chapter of this organization won as Outstanding Chapter of the Year for Georgia. There were 4 of us. There were 4 different schools, and we are up there. We've never, ever been up there. So I was so excited when I saw that. We had no idea. None whatsoever. And now they're going to have the states go up on stage, and they're going to say who won what for each state. So I will have my officers go up there. The chapter officers, one is a state officer now, and so she's going to go up there, and they will get whatever that we win in honor of our school. And if others want to go up there, I don't know how many that they're going to limit it. Maybe a huge stage and they can all go up. But I got 7 students going, so there's a total of 9 of us. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And my students they're not young. I mean, they're not old, but they are in their mid-20s up to, I think the oldest one is 52. So they're not really young. So we don't have to worry about if we can go and gamble on the floor. Where we're staying is one of the casinos. So I was really surprised that they had chosen this venue. But they're allowing students to gamble as long as they're 21 and older. And of course, there's some things in Vegas that are perfectly fine and legal in Vegas, but it is not in Georgia. So if it's not legal in Georgia, the students do it, they're going to be sent home if they're caught immediately. And they know this, and they're all real good. I don't think I have any problems with any of them. So I'm not really worried about that. But that's kind of in a nutshell what this is that I am doing. So let's go and look at my diamond painting. What's going on with that? It's probably what all you guys are here for anyway. You probably don't care anything about my family. But I like to give updates just because some do. It's also something extra to talk about so you guys can work on whatever you want. But as far as diamond painting, I am now, since this one I have started, this one is officially a whip, I am able to say that I am working on, this was one of the 4 that I had not started on yet, so now I have 3 left to say I'm officially 26 and 26. If you have not seen that video, I am so proud of that video, and I really thank all of you guys for watching it. It is now over 500 views, and for my little channel, that is amazing. I'm so excited. I'm just really thankful for all of you for watching it, for commenting. And, you don't even have to comment. If you could just click on that like button, that does help to circulate. I know some people don't like to comment. You don't know what to say, and I get it. And even if you don't click on the like, it still shows up that it was watched. It was watch time, and watch times help as well. So I am really excited for that one, and I am excited, really, really excited for this challenge. If you have not heard of this challenge, I'm sure everybody has, but maybe you hadn't. If you hadn't heard of the 26 and 26 challenge, this is where you work on 26 diamond paintings. You have them kitted up, and the objective of this, everyone has, it's really an on your own thing. It's whatever you want to do. Most of the ones that I have followed, I have seen, those are creators, or just any, you don't have to be a creator, or anybody that's working on this 26 and 26, they're not expecting to finish all of these. That's not what the goal is for them, and the same thing for me. My goal is definitely not to finish all of these, because I have finished, I thought 7, but I'm thinking I may have only finished 6. So I will let you know on my month in review that's coming up on Thursday how many I have actually completed, and that's for the year. That's not just for the month. So odds are, we're almost half in the year, odds are that I'm not going to finish 26 paintings when I've only done 6 for the entire year. Would I like to get some of these finished? Of course I would. And if I don't, am I going to be sad? No. Am I going to feel like that I did not meet the challenge? No, of course not. I'm going to be happy with whatever progress I get done. So I am working on fun. I want it to be challenging, but I don't want to get bored. And I want it to be where when I sit down, I am excited for whatever I'm going to be working on. I don't even have to think, guys, of what I'm going to be working on, because I'm going to be using a wheel picker, a random wheel picker, and I'm going to spin the wheel, and whatever the wheel lands on, that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to try to get a row of each one done, except for my really large ones. And if I did a row on those, it would probably take too long. But if I am still in it, and if I want to work on a full row, I will. But I don't have to. If I start getting tired of all of the colors, like these are going to be some dark colors. If I start getting tired of the colors, I can stop and I can say, okay, it's time to spin the wheel again. I can spin the wheel and then go to the next one. Now, when I get closer to some that are going to be finishes, I'll probably just keep working on it instead of putting it up and say, well, I got to wait until the wheel spins, because the wheel may not get back to some of these in a long time. I'm just going to keep them on there. I'm not even going to cover them up. I'm not going to black them out if it spins the same one again, unless I am absolutely bored with it. I'm going to keep going, but I won't do more than a row of each without spinning the wheel again. I'm also going to have a new series that is going to come out on Saturday, and it is going to be centered around this, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy that. I think that will be a lot of fun, and we will go from there. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give everything away, and then somebody else may take my idea, which, I don't care, but I'd like to have my idea to go out first because I did think of this, and so I want to get that done. But I am really thankful that I saw Shire Shenanigans, Nicole's video. I hadn't watched her before, and so now I have someone new to watch, and she's the one that came up with this 26 and 26 for diamond painting. And I thought about doing something similar, and I thought, that couldn't do that. That just sounds silly. Nobody would want to do it. And then she came out with something similar to what I was thinking about, and I thought, yeah, this works out perfect. So I do have all my 26. They are hanging up on a clothes rack, which basically is something that my mother used to use back in the day when she did not have a dryer. In the US, most people have washers and dryers, or they have access to both. I know in other countries they don't always have dryers, and so they have their clothes on lines, and they also have, I forgot what they call it, but when I was listening to Add More Zest, I thought, what is that? What is she talking about? And so I realized it's like a clothes rack. So that's what this is. It's just a clothes rod, and I name a clothes rod Dot. So not really a very creative name, but I thought, okay, she has dots on there because, diamond painting, and I just named her Dot. And Paige is calling her Dottie. She says, I like Dottie. So she may end up being Dottie to me too, but right now she's Dot. And Dot is kind of full because she has all my paintings on there. I hope Dot doesn't get so full that she's going to topple over because she's going to be too heavy. It's going to be too heavy with all the diamond paintings as I'm putting drills on. But I thought that's kind of fun. I do have those in my garage. They're covered up. Our garage does not get opened, so it doesn't really get dirty. And we're going to start doing some things in the garage to where I think we're going to have more space by opening up the garage into part of the house instead of just being a garage. But that is really what I've been working on. And so now I am down to 3 that I need to put drills on, and I am going to be working on that this week before I go. They're not going to be a full row, but they will have drills on them, and that's going to be nice. I can say I'm officially in on the 26 and 26. I am also going to have a playlist, so if you miss something that you really want to see, if you want to see updates on my 26 and 26, you can just go to the playlist on my channel and they will be there. Right now there's only one, but that's the one that I just did. But it was fun. It was a lot of work. I don't think I'm going to get all 26 out every month and show you guys because it did take a long time to go through all of those. I might do that, but just not go over specifics. Just show them in like a slideshow possibly. And you can just see, and I can tell you which ones that I worked on. I am going to keep a list of the ones that I work on for each month, so I could tell you that way. And since they're all together, it really wouldn't be that bad to do it. I can just put them on the floor, take a photo, and do a video that way, and not go over a lot of the specifics. So if you guys want to see that, let me know how you would like me to have my month-end reviews going forward. And I may not even have a completion on the month ends. I should have all that I would have on there would be the ones I've been working on. And then I could do my temperature chart on there also. That would be something I could put on my month in review. I'm trying to stay caught up with my temperature chart. Gotten a little behind on it for the month, just because I've been trying to work on quite a bit of this. And then in June, I'm going out of town twice. So the time that I go out the next time after my Vegas trip, I am taking a diamond painting with me. And I'll probably take this one just because I need to work on this one, because you do have to get a specific amount done. I think it's 30 by 40 section, 30 by 40 done by the end of the month. And so I'll probably take this one and work on it when I go out of town the next time. But we're driving, and so it's going to be a lot easier doing that than it is what I am doing by having to travel. If I was going on a retreat, then I definitely would. I would have to have a lot. And I've done that before when I've gone to both Ohio twice, and then also I went to Virginia last year. This year I am only going in my state, so I will be driving. One more thing, and then I think that I have covered everything for you guys. Oh, other thing is, how did everybody fare with the Diamond Art Club anniversary sale? I hadn't planned on getting anything. I kept looking every day when they were showing this past week. I was looking to see, what do I want? What do I have to have? What stands out? And the only thing that kept standing out for me, and it wasn't even really a must-have at the time, was the window wings by Yume. And I thought, I wouldn't mind having that, but it's not a necessity. I can go ahead and I can just wish list it. Well, then a couple others came up, and I thought, I like those. And again, none of them were absolute must-haves. I never stay up for any of their big sales like that. I've never stayed up for the Black Friday sale, but I did, and it was fun. I watched some videos as my husband stayed up for a little bit. He ended up going to bed at like 10:30, and so I stayed up. I diamond painted. I watched a couple of videos that I hadn't seen, and then I listened to my book. I need to start updating you guys on my books too. I've been doing a lot on Audible, and I listened to my book, and then from there it was 12. I got 3 diamond paintings that I really liked. Again, wasn't a necessity. I thought if I get them, great. If I don't get them, then I will just sign up for the actual restock. I've been waiting so long on some of the restocks, and well, I really didn't want to wait on the restock for that window wings. It just calls to me. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and do that one. And I don't know when they're going to come in, because I still haven't gotten a couple in that I had ordered a few months ago. So I'm not in any hurry. But let me know how you did. And also, I am now a moderator for Beach City Boutique. And I'm working on one of their paintings now. And that one is called Mermaid Journal. And I have done one small section, and their drills are really, really good, guys. Really good. So I've been asked to be a moderator, and I actually had contacted the company, and then we started talking, and the owner and both of the mods that she has are amazing. They're really, really sweet people. And so I'm going to be a mod there. I do have an affiliate code. You can only use the affiliate code one time out. I do have a video that I have on an unboxing from them. I have the one small section that I did. So I'll have that one underneath the top of the eye as well, and also underneath the description. So feel free to look at that. But I am really impressed, and I really like their Facebook group. So I'll put their Facebook group information underneath that link too, underneath the description. I am going to stop here. I hope that you enjoyed this. Hope that you have a great rest of your week. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.